Well, hi there. My name is Mr. Martinez, and in this Photoshop Elements 9 tutorial, I'm going to show you basically how to lasso things out, use the magic wand tool, crop things, and combine three photos together. Essentially, I want to do this so you have a better understanding of A, Creative Commons media, and B, how to put together some images that you found online. So the images I've found are from Flickr, and I have them open right here, and I've chosen three images. I've got this image of water from Avocado Girlfriend. Okay, it's an attribution image, so I can do what I want with that as long as I attribute it to Avocado Girlfriend. Wen Zhang, okay, I can attribute, but I can't make money off of this image. And Paul Baika's church here. So I'm going to put all these three images together, and I've downloaded the original sizes of all three. So here I am in Photoshop. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to click File, Open, and I'm going to open up that image of the church. There's a few things I want to do first. I want to save this right away. I like saving it as a Photoshop file. So Format, Photoshop, Desktop, and Church Image. And save. This allows me to retain any layers, and I can make changes to my document later. I also like double-clicking on this layer, pressing OK to unlock it. Next thing, I'm going to press the Magic Wand tool. The Magic Wand tool is a great selection tool when you want to select similar colors. So let's say I want to get rid of all this blue here. I'm going to click once, and I have my tolerance fairly high, so the higher the tolerance, the more blues it'll select. So I'm going to click once here, and it gave a nice selection of blues. Okay. But if you noticed here, I don't have contiguous signed in. I want to click on contiguous because if you noticed, it selected these blues down here. So I'm going to try that again, and I click once here, and it selected just this blue. I'm going to hit delete. I want this blue removed, click there. I want that blue removed, click there. This blue removed, click there as well. Now, if I had this unselected, and I selected this blue, it selected some blues that I don't want it to select, like down here and down here. I can get rid of those if I click on the lasso tool, and if I hold Option on my keyboard, I can make a selection around those, and that way it won't cut those out. So I'm going to do that. It's got those blues selected. It's got some in here that I don't necessarily want. Anything else that's kind of shiny, that one's okay. That one's okay. This part of the building I don't want selected. Something like that. So now I just have these selected. I hit delete, and it's gotten rid of those blues. And you can get even more finicky with your selection tool. If I zoomed in, I could say, okay, I want this blue removed, and hit delete. Right, and the same thing with my lasso tool. I just need to make sure that my church isn't going to be deleted, and hit delete. So I've done a pretty good selection of my blues. I'm going to hit select, deselect. That way things aren't selected. Next, I want to put some water back here. Right? So how am I going to do that? Well, I'm going to open up my next image, which in my downloads is the water here. Same thing, I'm going to double click here to unlock the layer. With my move tool selected, I'm going to click and drag this water onto my church. So there it is there. So the problem being now I'm covering up the church, but that's okay. I just need to rearrange my layers here. So I'm going to grab layer 0 and dump it up here. So now I have the water as sky. Okay. Next step, I want to bring my cute little puffins into my image. So I'm going to open up my puffins, double click again, and I just want to select my puffins. So I'm going to get in a little bit tighter. Another fun selection tool is this one. the quick selection tool. I'm going to paint, and I can make my brush a little bit smaller. I'm going to paint the areas that I want to keep. So as I'm painting, Photoshop's pretty smart at selecting just the puffin, and I can make a few extra clicks. I'm just clicking and let going, clicking, let going. But it's recognizing that I want these parts of the puffins. And you can see it's not the most perfect selection. I've selected some of the rock. Under my selection tool, I can select the subtract tool, and I can subtract out some of the rock. Okay? And then for more precise, I can always use the lasso tool. Instead of Option on my keyboard, I can hold Shift and make sure I add that part there. So that's a decent selection of the puffins. So now what I can do is I can hit Edit, Copy, go back to my church, and I'm going to hit Edit, Paste, and put my puffins in. And notice that my sky, I didn't put it at the right height. There, that's better. Now my puffins look way too big. Here is where I can crop them down a little bit. So when I have them selected, if I hold Option on my keyboard and drag down, it'll keep their proportions the right size. So let's say I want them, I don't know, maybe this high. I'm going to have them in these trees over here. If I'm happy with the position, I can hit check mark, zoom out, and there we go. I have my puffins in a tree with the water in the background. Okay, so I've used my selection tools, my zoom tools. And this is just going to help you get started making a collage if you want in the future using Creative Commons media. I can again make sure I save this. If I want to share this online or put it in Google Classroom, I can now save it as a JPEG as well. I typically don't want to share Photoshop files with people. Those are too big. So I'm going to hit File, Save As, and make sure that I've made this into a JPEG image. Church, Final, Save. I can change the quality. I like it relatively high quality. And I'm going to hit OK. And I'm done. So hopefully you enjoyed this basic tutorial of Photoshop Elements 9, and you should have a better understanding of using the lasso tool and combining different images together.